With me, Paul Addict Mentor. I hope you're all having a really, really good day, a positive day, and you're not letting life get you down and you're not taking things too seriously. This evening, I'm going to talk to you firstly about self isolation. And this is a really important thing. I can see again the chat isn't coming up. I don't know why, but I can't. Which basically means you borrow things from one prisoner, usually the prisoner who's, usually the drug dealer, the guy in for extreme violence who've got people looking after them, and all things like that. So you'll borrow something, say in today's market, it's vapes, it used to be tobacco, Rizzlers, you know. In jail, you can borrow anything from a roll on to a pair of gym gloves. Anything you want, you can borrow, but it comes at a cost. Now, that's the same with drugs. Spice at the moment, the synthetic cannabis, you call it the zombie drug, call it what you will. That is the main drug within the prison system at the moment. Don't think there's not nights when people are getting on it and they're not, and there's people doing ecstasy, there's people doing cocaine, MDMA, sometimes cocaine, sometimes heroin, but not very much. It's mainly spice. And for the big boys, they like just to smoke the weed because they want to tell everyone, look how big I am. Stinking out the landing, baiting up the whole wing, not even thinking about anyone else. So, people get into debt by borrowing, or say you go to your dealer and you're getting stuff on tick. But in prison, there's not just one dealer on a wing, there might be 10 dealers on a wing. So, being a smart ass, pain in the ass addict that we are, we'll get tick off of one dealer on the wing as much as you can, and then you'll go to the next dealer on the wing and you'll get as much as you can, and so on and so forth, because that is the addict in you. The addict in you says, let's just get as much as we can. This is great. This ride's great. But then comes your canteen sheet. Now, you get your canteen sheet, say, on a Sunday, you get the canteen. My chat is working, it's just flicking on and off. I don't know why, but so I'm sorry, I can't see the chat. I can see you are chatting, it flicks real quick and flicks off again. I can't explain why. I might need an update, I don't know, but I'm going to continue with my bloody story. So, as addicts, you get in debt and you get your canteen sheet. One list will come under the door. Then the next list will come under the door, and the next, and the next. So now you've got 10 lists of canteen that you owe to these 10 people who most probably are going to kick your head in, or get a bunch of people to kick your head in if you've not got the canteen that you owe them. So sometimes you've not even got enough to pay one person their list. Comes with a massive list, all sorts of stuff they want on there, and you ain't got it because you're an addict and you ain't got no one sending you in money because you burnt those bridges years ago. So what do? I'll tell you what happens. You sit in your cell, and everyone's coming to you. Do you put that stuff down for me, Simmo? Yeah, of course I did, bro. I put that down for you. Of course I did. I sorted that out for you. Not a problem. I put it down for you. Do you do that? Do you do that? Of course I did. You can trust me. So that's what man's saying. And Monday comes and you're thinking, shit, what am I going to do, man? This is going to get real sticky soon. Tuesday comes. The anxiety ball starts kicking in your stomach. Wednesday comes, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you're like, shit, I owe 10 people canteen, I don't have any canteen, what do I do? Right, when next time a screw comes to the door, I'm telling them, I'm not coming out of my cell for anything. You can't make me come out for education. You can't make me come out for food. I'm not coming out for anything. And that is called self-isolation, right? SI, they write on the door, S/I. And this is happening more and more and more in prisons up and down the country. You have people now in a situation due to addiction, due to stupidness, due to being not very clever and wise within the system, doing 24-hour bang up, never coming out, no exercise, no association, not coming out for anything. They're even asking them to bring the phone so they can phone their people from in their cell. This is happening all the time in the prison system, and that's down to, well, the system's broken. Let me tell you, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why the prison system's broken. And for anyone who goes, who are you to say about how the system's broken? I am a guy who spent 22 years in the prison system. I'm a guy who spent 22 years being banged up, banged out, right, and told that I am rubbish, but never being told how to deal with this situation. I'll tell you what I mean. So the system is broken. You go in there and you've got an addiction problem. They are going to offer you relapse prevention. And if you are really, really, really lucky, you may get on a 12-step program, right? So that's it. That's the prison system for addicts. There isn't anything else. There isn't, right? There's therapeutic communities where you have to sit in for about 18 months and stuff, but that is still 12-step. It's still this 12-step program. You can paint it up as many different ways you want, you know. You can stick lipstick on it and a thong on it, but it is still 12-step. So that happens, right? So they're not actually dealing with the reasons why most people go to prison, and that is for their addiction. And why? Because they don't know how to deal with mental health. And until they know how to deal with mental health on a grand scale, they're not going to get on top of addiction. What are you on about, Paul? What I'm on about is addiction and mental health are entwined. They are one. Can you not at least like the live? There's a little funny thing there. Click it. Like the live. Like and subscribe. That's all I say to you. Please like and subscribe and follow, you know. Click the little, press the bell so you get notifications when I go live. So they don't help you with addiction apart from that. And then what they did, because the prison system, you know, is very PC, they got rid of tobacco from the system, right? When they did that, I don't really think, thank you, whoever just liked it, I don't really think they realised what they were doing, right? Because, yes, everyone can vape and stuff like that, and you're thinking, that's great, you can just vape. But getting rid of tobacco, it not only created a worse drug problem, and I'll explain to you why, what I mean in a minute, but getting rid of tobacco created a crazy tobacco baroning system, right? So tobacco, it's like this, and I'm not lying to you, this is what happened. Tobacco you could buy from the canteen 1 week, you know, we're talking £4 or £5 for a packet of tobacco. Tobacco got made illegal, they stopped selling it in the canteens, and the jail I was in, that same week, for that same packet of tobacco, you would have to pay £300 for. No joke, no long talk, £300. If you want an ounce of tobacco now, you're talking £500. If you want just Rizla, you could sell. If you were one of the kids, a plucky kid, right, and you got a few packets of Rizla for on a visit, right, and your missus was like, I'm not bringing you any drugs, but here's some Rizla. You can make 40, 50 quid off of Rizla papers in prison, right? Because that is the situation they created. The prison system created this situation where it was just like, you can't get tobacco anymore, so you've basically created another system where people are going to make serious money off of the burn, innit? I don't say burn anymore. For anyone who's done jail, you know what I mean when I say burn, because that's what it is. That's what we used to call it, having a burn, right? So getting rid of tobacco, it did that. But what it also did, and this is the real bad situation, negative, disastrous, destructive. I don't use words like bad. I don't know where that came from. It created this sort of precipice meeting point of two deadly things: spice and no tobacco. Right? So guys ain't going. These guys like me, who was like, we were getting £5 on our canteen sheets, £10 on a good week. But when my missus, I ain't gonna lie, my missus was sending me money all the time. So I ain't gonna lie, she looked after me. My Zasha, she really did the whole time I've been with her. But people stopped smoking spice in roll-ups, and it was just smoking it pure. And when people started smoking it pure, people started dying. Now, when I was in HMP Stockton, 2 people died in the same jail on 2 different units, right? 2 different wings, 2 different house blocks, however you lot would recognise it. In the States, I don't know. I can't tell you. But right, over here, it's house blocks, units, whatever. And it just created madness because people were going man down, people were being projectile vomiting. I had a guy smoking spice in my cell. This is no word of a lie. There will be somewhere out there in social media land who'll go, Jesus Christ, Simmo, because that's what my name used to be. I am now Paul Addict Mentor, and I stay by that name. Someone's going to go, Jesus Christ, Simmo, I remember that. I'd been a bit naughty. I'd nicked a bunch of tobacco from the prison canteen after the smoking ban came in. I'm not going to lie. It came up, there was 5, it was a pack with 5 ounce pouches in. Considering they're like £400 a pop at that point, I was having it. So I had it, and I swapped one for a whole A4 sheet of spice paper, right? And considering they sell an ID card for £50, yeah, right? Some gels £100. You could see I was onto a good thing. So we were having a massive smoke in my cell. This was Bullingdon. I'm on the top landing. D3 short spur, D3 on the short spur, but not the short spur. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. On the top landing corner cell, I'm up there, we're having a smoke, and this guy's started to go man down in my cell. Now, at that time, I'm doing Big Bird, man. I'm like, no, you're not going man down in my cell. I've literally dragged him out of my cell. Excuse my ruthlessness, but it was prison. You do that or get extra time. I've dragged him out of my cell. He's lifted himself up on so the metal railings like that, popped his head over, where guys are down below playing pool, playing table tennis. This is God's honest truth. This guy's just gone bleh, projectile vomited all from the top landing all the way down. Puke on absolutely everything. I banged myself up in my cell. I'm thinking, I ain't having nothing to do with that. I didn't care about the screws. It was the guys playing pool. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, man, this is going to get peak right now. Someone's going to get fucked up. And that was the madness. And that's what I'm saying. It made you do crazy stuff. And because of the backy, the spice, it became rampant. It became deadly. And when I say spice synthetic cannabis, what I actually mean is any chemical they smuggle into prison that sort of simulates that feeling. Now, I know for a fact that they have used rat poison out of the rat traps. I know they have used ant powder before. I know they've used alloy wheel cleaner from a very big retailer for cars and mountain bikes around your area. Lots of things like that. People have become really ruthless in prison. They don't care. You know, they don't care if it's going to kill them. They don't care if it's not going to do anything apart giving them a bit of carbon from the paper. They don't care. It's become ruthless, right? So that's the start of this prison breakdown. But a real big issue within the prison, and we're going away from drugs right now, because this, you need to hear this, is so when I got my EPP sentence, okay, there were certain criteria that I had to meet before I was even considered moving forward in my sentence, yeah. So I had to do enhanced thinking skills for the 4th time. No, I mean, that's very serious. I mean, I took it so seriously the 4th time. And I had to do controlling anger and learning to manage it for the 3rd time. Dressed up. It used to be called just anger management. It used to be called. Then it's called something else, and it went to calm. So it's been through loads of different. So I had to do that. But some guys are doing IPP sentences, and they'll be getting 2-year IPP, 4-year IPP. And you're thinking, that's cool, 2-year, 4-year, sweet. But it's an IPP sentence, so which is basically, it's a life sentence. They have 99-year license. They have to jump through loads of hoops to get out. And if they've only got 18 months to do, right, and they have to get on some of the most serious courses, right, the lifer courses, I couldn't name them off the top of my head. I promise you I'm going to research a bit more as these evening lives continue. And but they have to do these courses. CSCP, Cognitive Self-Change Program. The waiting list for that course used to be about 6 years. So if you've got a recommendation that you serve 18 months, but the course you have to do to get out is a 6-year min waiting list, what does that do? How does that compute? It doesn't. And these guys today, to this day, there would have been guys kicking off at an office somewhere on some wing going, boss, when am I getting on this course? I've been waiting this long. When's this going to happen? And it's just like the system is breaking down because all of these expectations are being laid on prisoners, but they've got no way of actually fulfilling them in the time frame that is set out. So people are waiting for their paroles. They go up for their parole because they have to go up for parole ever so often. And the parole board goes, well, no, because you've not done this course. And man will go, well, I've not done the course, but I've been on the waiting list for bloody years. And they go, yeah, but how do we know your behaviour's changed if you've not done the program that we want you to do? And hence the roundabout of waiting for programs dealing with prison psychology. Now, psychology are in charge of all the programs and stuff like that. And, you know they got your balls in a vice. They do. They know if you say the wrong thing to them, if you look the wrong way, if you've been smoking and they smell it on you, they'll use it. So, that again, that's another thing why the system is broken. But now we're getting to the good stuff. The bang up situation in many jails around the country are crazy. Now, not all prisons. Some prisons, some Cat Cs, some Cat As, and some Cat Bs, right? You got guys out all day, they're working, it's high numbers and stuff like that. But in a lot of prisons, A lot of prisons, you are doing 20, 23-hour bang up most days of the week. Not really, if you've got a cellmate, you got a cellmate. If you're a single bang up like I was single cell bang up, for many reasons, really. One, I was a long-term prisoner. I'd served a long time. I'd been done for kidnap. I've been done for rioting. Do you know what I mean? I've been involved in fights, cut-ins, all of that sort of stuff. I got involved in all of that in my prison career. So, I was banged up a lot of my time when I was doing the 23-hour bang up, 24 in some jails. No jokes, COVID was no joke. 24-hour bang up. You're just in a cell on your own. And you end up talking to yourself for entertainment, and you're trying to find things to do. Because I promise you, sitting watching a TV all day ain't all that. I know there's people out here in society who go, oh my God, prisoners have got it so easy. They just sit in their cells all day watching TV. Yeah? Is that right? Is that all they do? They don't miss their parents. They don't miss their kids growing up. They don't miss weddings, funerals, births, none of that stuff. People just think it's all cushy because you got a TV in the cell with. Let me get this right, because I'll count them for you. Right, so on a prison TV, in 2023, you turn on your TV, any TV today, you've got a billion channels. In prison, you've got 1 to 5, the standard 1 to 5 channels. Then you've got ITV2, ITV3 sometimes, Film 4, sometimes a music channel, and like Sky News constant on the stream, and that's it. And that's the channels you got. And if you suffer from insomnia or anything like that, you'll find you're up all night watching the same crap going over and over and over again. And the bang up becomes hard, it becomes difficult, you overthink, you become to ruminate. The smallest little thing can set you off. I have been known many a time to have a tear up at night in a cell for no reason whatsoever. It's just you realise, a year's gone, another year, 3 years, 4 years have thrown past, still not had a visit, still not seen anyone. And that was my prison. That was my prison career. I wasn't the guy who was getting visits every week. I wasn't that. I wasn't the big guy, man. I was a big guy physically. Yeah, I was a big guy physically, but most of the time I was on my own. No letters, no visits, no photos, no nothing. Not until I met my partner, and she showed me a completely different way of life. She showed me that people can love you, people can take care of you, and people really do want to have the best for you. I never thought that was possible, because I spent 22 years in prison with screws telling me I was a prick, screws telling me I was a complete and utter waste of space, screws telling me that I won't worth shit, we're going to keep the cell warm for you because you'll be back in a week. And a lot of the time they were right, I was. And like I said, that is why the system is really, really damaged, it's broken, and it really does need fixing. And that's why I set up the Recovery Rovers community. We are on the TikTok. I go live 9 a.m. every single day of the week. It is fantastic. We have a real good vibe on there. We are not singing, dancing. So when you older guys think TikTok, I ain't going on there, I ain't some sissy. It's not that kind of a party, right? It's this. What you have just watched, this is what I do every single morning, but it's just based around addiction and mental health, because TikTok will not let me talk about shanking people up. No, you get banned for that on TikTok, for telling truths, but apart from that, I love the community, and it is a really good way of everyone being able to come together. You don't need to have to be able to get live access or anything. It is literally downloading the app, following Poor Addict Mental Recovery Rovers. It says it there. It says it there. It says it there. I wear it. I believe in it. And we focus primarily on the non-active approach to recovery. So that means everyone is included, sorry, everyone is included. It doesn't matter if you've tried a million times. It doesn't matter if you're still in active addiction and you just want to find a place where you can come and get a little bit of inspiration, advice, information and guidance. For all my regulars, and I threw in an extra inspiration with the information there. And it's just an amazing place. You can come on, you can chat, you can ask for advice, and it's holistic. If you need advice for anything, and I mean anything around employment, education, housing, council tax, VAT, if I can find a place to point you, that's what I'm going to do, because that's what the non-active approach is about. It's a very holistic approach, which means we encompass the whole person. You don't just go, oh, you've got an addiction, so let's just sort your addiction out. Because stopping someone using drugs is one thing, but dealing with the underlying issue of why people use drugs, that is today. That is why I'm here, and I promise you, I am going to make change in this world. Little old me, live streaming from my kitchen. I promise you, change is coming. The non-active approach is getting into the offender management programs. I promise you, peeps, I will not forget you. I will never forgive you. If we don't make it, that is. Right, thank you so much. I don't know where that singing came from. I have no idea whatsoever. I'm really sorry about the chat, people. I couldn't see it, but I knew you were chatting and stuff, so I'll be able to see that once it's uploaded, downloaded, and downloaded, all right? But I just want to say thank you so much. Remember, I'm live on TikTok, Paul Addict Mentor. 7 days a week, 9 a.m. and now 7 days a week, 7 p.m. on YouTube. Check me out, and tomorrow I am going to be live on 105.5 Swindon FM doing my very first radio show. Very nervous, but very excited. Have a fantastic evening, and remember, doesn't matter how deep down the rabbit hole of addiction you may have fallen. Your dad may have fallen, your mum may have fallen, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your granny, your granddad, or just your mate across the road. They can get clean, they can get sober, and they can live their best lives. Trust me on that.